Definitely not Memorex. Everybody will date myself on that one. Good evening, everybody. Tonight being January 10th, 2024, this is the Master Plan Committee meeting. The meeting tonight will be held in the Municipal Building on the third floor training room of 355 East Central Street at 6:30, and the time being 6:35. A note to residents, all citizens are welcome to attend public board and committee meetings in person. The meetings will also be live streamed by Franklin TV and shown on Comcast Channel 11 and Verizon Channel 29. Recordings of meetings are available on Franklin TV's Franklin Town Hall TV YouTube channel. And additionally, in an effort to maximize citizen engagement opportunities, citizens will be able to continue to participate remotely via phone or through Zoom. The link to access tonight's meeting on the January 10th, 2024 subcommittee meeting is listed on the agenda. You can copy the URL or you can call in. The phone number is 1-929-205-6099 and enter meeting ID 834157-69921. Again, and then press pound. Again, the phone number is 1-929-205-6099. Enter the meeting ID 834157-69921 and then press pound. So, first item on tonight's agenda is meeting minutes. I would be looking to take a motion to approve the minutes for November 8th and November 29th of 2023.
So moved.
Second.
And you'll have to roll call that.
Yep.
Clerk, take a roll.
Bruce?
Yes.
Meg?
Yes.
Gino?
Yes.
Rick?
Yes.
Janelle?
Yes.
Eric?
Yes.
Jen? I thought she was, oh,
She's putting the kids down.
yeah. Joe?
Yes.
Is Erin absent?
Yes, Aaron is absent.
Erin is absent. Ken?
Yes.
Clerk, yes. Vice Chair?
Yes.
Chair?
Yes,
Okay.
thank you. So, for the record tonight, those
11.
11 people.
11, yes.
For the record, several of the Master Plan Committee members are remote tonight. Bruce Hunchar, Gino Carlucci, Meg Hagan, Jennifer Williams, and absent is Aaron Gallagher, Rick Powers, Eric Seltzer, Ken L. Moore, Janelle Lang, Joe Halligan, Mel Hamblin, Kobe Frangillo, and myself are live here on the third floor of the town municipal building. Second on our list of agenda items for tonight are subcommittee updates, specifically input from each subcommittee on dates that they have to look forward to, as well as any updates from the subcommittees. I'll start with housing. Ken?
Housing and Economic Development, we have scheduled up 4 meetings. One on January 18th, February 1st, February 15th, February 29th, 5 meetings, and March 7th, all beginning at 5 p.m., room 205. Housing and Economic Development.
Perfect. Any specific updates or any?
Nope.
Okay. Perfect. Over to you, Kobe. On circulation.
Community services, facilities,
Yep.
and circulation.
Mm-hmm.
We just met before this meeting, had a great talk about the goals and objectives. We are putting together our questions, and we're hoping to bring in some of the department heads and do those themed meetings as we had originally planned. And so those are going to be the next few. We're going to continue to meet before the full master plan meetings. The one thing to note is we were looking to schedule a public hearing about GATRA at the senior center, and GATRA announced that they're going to be coming to the senior center and holding their own public hearing. And so we confirmed availability, and we're planning on going forward. We're going to ask them. We're planning on going forward and asking them for that to be a joint public hearing between the master plan subcommittee and them. And so we don't have to show up twice to talk about the same things within a few weeks. So we're excited by that. That's on Thursday, it's a during the day one.
Yeah.
So Thursday, I believe at 3:30, might be 2:30. I'll shoot that out to everyone. That's January 29th, whatever that Thursday.
The 25th.
Okay,
Yeah. So
Oh, that's good.
that's great.
Will you have your full subcommittee there? I believe.
yeah, we are. Yeah. The
Okay,
current
everyone's
right
in.
now, everyone thinks that they can show. Erin's slightly worried about getting her kids. That would be the only
So
thing.
they get
But
off the bus.
yes, but all four have been confirmed as being able to make that work. Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna say, since you're doing GATRA as part of your council responsibilities too, as well as kind of a joint, is that what you meant by the joint thing? So you're getting your input, cause you're on the GATRA boards. as
No,
part of
yeah,
that.
the joint is that GATRA is planning on showing up and doing their public hearing at the senior center, and so we can advertise it as both GATRA and the master plan are showing up to hear your thoughts on transportation around Franklin.
Amy, do you think we should set that up as an official posted meeting?
If they're gonna actively talk about their subcommittee
Yeah.
yeah, your goals and objectives, yes, we should post an agenda for it.
Yeah,
So
is
if we
fine.
could get an agenda put together for that, that would be
right.
Thank you. Anything else?
That's it.
Nice, nice job. Janelle, land use and zoning?
All right, so we're trying to narrow down a time for next week. It's either gonna be Wednesday or Friday, and I'll let you know. I wanted to make sure it was later in the week to get an agenda ahead of time. And then our primary agenda is to really then map out the bulk of the meetings through the rest of the winter and in the spring. Tentative dates for those is landing on every other Monday. That will be getting back into that rhythm after the holiday. So I can pull those up if you need them. I'm gonna plan to shoot them to Amy.
Nope, that would be great. Yeah, if you could shoot them to Amy. Ultimately, one of my hopes is that each subcommittee has an opportunity to get those dates to Amy so that we can get them onto the Google Calendar and onto the town's calendar, official town calendar, so everyone sees those posted dates and when they're available. Ideally, what would be good too, and I know Amy mentioned this in the email, is just as a reminder again to everybody that when you set the dates, also kind of set reminders for yourselves that the agendas need to be posted at least 48 hours prior to having that posted meeting.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
Nice job. All right, Meg, over to you for open space, recreation, historical resources, etc.
Thanks, Glenn. So I am going back and forth right now with Callie over at the library, confirming a date for our public hearing at the library. We're looking at either February 3rd or 17th. He's just confirming what events they have going on that day because we wanted to align with a cultural event, and she has two potential options on those days. But potentially, I think we're leaning towards February 3rd. So as soon as we have that date locked in, I will get that over to Amy and posted. Our second one, I have dropped the ball on following up with Kobe just to confirm the date on that, to do one on the SNET.
Yes.
So Kobe, I'll touch base with you tomorrow just to confirm date and time on the possible walk on the SNET and get that up as well. We have our objectives aligned at this point for our subcommittee. So they're pretty much ready to go for our public hearings. So we'll reconvene as a subcommittee in March to review our public input feedback and go from there. So we'll get together and get a date for that and get that up on the calendar as well.
That's great. And I hope things are going well with the Franklin Museum stuff. It looks like you and Erin are doing quite a bit of work on that as well.
We have been
You guys got your
quite
hands,
busy, thank you. It's
I was
going
gonna
really well,
say, you
yeah.
got your hands full. No doubt about it. So, but you guys are doing great work with that. Anything else to report, Meg, in regards to? Okay.
Not right now.
Okay. Looking forward to
Thanks,
it.
Glenn.
No, thank you. Over to you, Gino, sustainability.
Yes, we've had one public input session already at the Winter Farmers Market back in December. And I'm currently out of town, but when I get back, we'll schedule our future meetings as well as additional public input sessions. We tend to, in the past, also meet on every other Monday night, not on the ones that land use and zoning meet on, so that should work out pretty nicely.
Excellent, and I hope you're enjoying yourself. Hopefully the holidays have treated you well. And
Yes,
and
thanks.
how's Pandora doing? Good?
Very well, yes.
I heard her in the background over there. That's funny.
Oh, yeah, she's gone now, though.
Okay. Anything else to report for sustainability?
Nope, that's it.
Okay, great. I really want to send my thank yous out to the chairs as well as all the members of the subcommittees for all the hard work they've put in. As I mentioned in an email I sent out to everybody, we want to establish the dates, get the dates set up onto the calendar so that A, we as the master plan, and B, the public have some insight as to when these dates will be available for us to attend and put in some input. Also, if any of the master plan committee chairs have any specific questions during their meetings that they'd like to bring forth, please bring them forth here to the full master plan committee, or send me an email and send Amy an email as well, just to follow up on any issues you may have. And again, if you have any technical issues, also let me know as well, because I know we've been having some other issues with the OWL and getting things online. It seems to be working better, but just by, I'm gonna put my calendar here. Just by way of example, this is what the Google Calendar looks like when meetings get posted onto the master plan. My question I had for everybody was the meeting that I posted for tonight, as part of the post, as part of the event that is set up in Google, it sends out reminders, and they go out 30 minutes before, 20 hours before, 2 hours before, 1 day before, and 1 week before. Have you folks been receiving reminders in regards to the meetings? If you haven't, let me know. I want to fix whatever technical issues there are. And just by way of example, let me bring this one up. When you post a meeting on the Google Calendar, you notice to the right it says add guests. You can see the list of all the members of the master plan committee, and then I've set up reminders to kind of send out to everybody on periodic times, like I said, 30 minutes before, day before, week before, in the hopes of giving everybody better communications this year, so that everyone knows exactly where we need to be and when we need to be there. If anybody has any questions on how to set the meetings up like this for their subcommittees, I can talk to you on the side and show you how to do this. My goal, my hope, is that each subcommittee, when they get their meetings posted, send out reminders to all of their members, as well as to Amy, so that everyone's at least getting reminders as to when those meetings and times may be. And
Glenn, excuse me.
Yes, sir.
Glenn, if you're posting some stuff online, I can't see it. I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody else is having that
I
problem.
did not receive a reminder.
Okay. You didn't receive a reminder?
No.
I know.
And just for clarity, the reminder would come via an email
Email.
to our Franklin
Yes.
accounts.
To your
yeah.
Franklin accounts.
I got the invites.
You got the
so
invites?
I got that far.
Okay.
But I haven't gotten to the
All right,
notifications.
so I'll look in. It's a small detail, but I think it's a significant detail. I'll work on trying to get that to work offline. I'll touch base with everybody and teach you.
Glenn, can I just confirm, is this an email that we're getting, or is this like a calendar invite reminder?
It's a
I've been getting the
calendar.
calendar
It's a
invite
calendar. It's a
reminder.
Google Calendar invite reminder. Correct. It'll say
Yeah,
like.
so that's been popping up on my phone
it'll-
as the reminder, not
Right.
a separate email.
It'll say like master plan meeting Google Calendar with the date and reminder that of the date, time of the meeting. So you've been getting that, Meg?
Yes, I've been getting that.
Okay.
I do also have the Google calendar on my app on my phone. I'm not sure if maybe not everyone does. Maybe that's why they wouldn't get it, or if
Okay.
their Google calendar is not linked to their iCalendar
So
if they
they're
have
right, 'cause
an
they're-
Apple phone.
this is one of the discussions I had with Eric last meeting, is that there's two calendars. There's the town's email address is your master plan email, and it's an official town email, but you have to link your town email address to the master plan calendar. And I can, after this, I can actually sit down with anybody who's having technical issues and walk you through how to, I got Eric's to work last time. So anyways, I can do that offline after the meeting. I just wanted to bring it up just so everybody knew, what was going on. Okay, that being said, let's go back to the agenda. Number 3, survey results. Amy, this is an exciting moment.
Thank you. So overall, we received over 700 responses, which, is very good for, I think it's what you typically find when you put surveys out there, is close to what we did, they received with the open space plan recently, so when they put their, survey out. So that's really good. I think you can see kind of going through, the comments and the selections of the answers. You can kind of summarize it up, and definitely want to see some more activity in our downtown area.
You want to put me on as a co-host?
Oh, sure.
Share my screen and show
Sure.
the results?
All set. We had comments on keeping this the feel of a small town as well. For facilities, they showed a lot of interest in maintaining town-owned facilities such as the buildings and the schools. So they definitely expressed a lot of interest in managing that. The open space, has always, they'd like to preserve the open space, preserve our parks, always want more recreational areas, which are always important for the town. I know that,
So which one do you want? What question?
I'm just doing an overall,
Okay.
really, a general overall of how to kind of summarize up the survey. We had 287 people want to be part of the raffle tonight, so we'll get to that at the end, which is good. I guess I'm just kind of open here to any questions or comments after the committee has reviewed it, because I know it was sent out.
So, if you don't mind, Amy, I just want to jump in on the survey. What was interesting, and I hope everyone has had an opportunity to actually look at the results. There are of the 713 different responses on here, which is a fair amount of results. What's interesting to note, I went to the bottom of the survey, and one of the questions at the bottom says, "How did you hear about this?" Where is it?
Very end.
And of the survey that was sent out, 46.2% of the respondents did the survey through Facebook, which is interesting. 12% did the survey because they heard about it through the town's website, and the remainder, the next largest chunk, was through email. I think that's fairly the norm when it comes to people interacting with surveys and other various kind of online interactive other results. That's pretty telling. I mean, for the most part, the Facebook posts were several that I put up there, as well as putting them on All About Franklin. I think that was probably one of our best outreaches, was actually reaching out to All About Franklin. And there are, I believe the number is upwards of almost 15,000 to 18,000 people who were on All About Franklin. and we got some of our best results from there.
One thing I'd caution the chair and all of us on is a certain kind of demographic that you're going to get from Facebook. A certain, Kobe and I have had a conversation about the demographic of that 18 to 24-year-old, that 24-year-old to 35-year-old. They are not on Facebook. They're not going to look at an email the same way. So, this is a good response, but I hope that we understand that it's really seasoned with a certain portion of this population. We're not going to get migrant populations. We're probably not going to get as many people of color, and we're most certainly not going to get a younger demographic as part of this.
Or even older.
Or older at a certain point.
Right.
My gut would tell me that once you start getting past 65 years of age, you're not going to get a whole lot of people doing that.
It's a stretch.
So just a FYI, that's all.
That's a valid point. Thank you, sir.
I doubt a lot of my students even saw this survey. Just based on our channels that seem to be the ones that are the highest.
That makes sense.
They'd be more apt to look at a QR code on a poster.
So just running through the survey really quickly, couple of real things that stood out to me. One is, Amy, it's an interesting result, or an interesting way to display the results for the various questions. I mean, I think the pie charts are by far one of the most useful ways to understand the information. The bar charts are a little confusing because you can't tell what's considered number one or number two without having to kind of really study the results. Yep, I know. And some of the other results are also a little hard to understand by the way Google displays them. Max, you had a question, sir?
Is there a microphone I should go to?
Sure.
There you go.
This one right here at the end.
Use
Oh, this one's open.
Use that one too.
Yeah.
Oh, hi, my name is
Max,
Maxwell.
have a seat.
Oh, sorry.
Don't have to stand up.
My name is Maxwell Marnger. I live at 127 Central Park Terrace. I just wanted to go off of President Elmore's remarks about demographics. It looks like we collected some demographics around race, and I don't know, did we collect it on age too?
Yes.
Because what we can do is we can weight the data so that people who are disproportionately represented have a lower weight, and people who are more represented have a lower weight, and people who are less represented have a higher weight, and that might balance out some of the results a little bit to get a better picture of how Franklin as a whole actually is. Because I don't know if you could go back to the demographics,
Sure.
How much it matches Franklin as a whole. I don't have that data in front of me from the census or anything.
You happy to pull that up for you, Max?
But it's just like it says something cognizant of.
So, of the results, tell us about yourself. The question was, how do you identify race and ethnicity? 84.9% was white. 9.6% was I prefer not to answer. And then the smaller chunks down here. The largest of those chunks is Asian, 11%. I'm sorry, Asian 1.6%, 11 people. Hispanic 1.3%. Multiracial, then the numbers really get smaller. So, yes, sir.
Through the chair. And to the point, perhaps what we should do is compare what we believe the census demographics are in Franklin, just to see how that figures in, including gender as well. I didn't mention that our methods were very gendered as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes, without a doubt. Of the 683 responses, as far as the declared gender is concerned, the female came in at 59.6%, and males came in at 33.2%, and not those that preferred not to answer weighed in at 6.7%. Age groups from the respondents, the largest chunk was 35 to 49. That's a very telling number. Of the second largest number is 31.1% age group 50 to 64, and then the third largest number is 13.8%, and that is actually 65 to 74. So the largest percentage of those who responded to this based on this chart are range from 35 and over.
35 to 64, it's easy.
Mm-hmm.
That just hits what Ken was just
35 to 64.
Correct.
And if
Probably the people that may be around to see what we do in 10 years from now.
Really? I think he's joking. It won't be.
It is. And that's funny you say that, because the next slide is how long have you lived in Franklin? And it's a good question for you, Bruce.
Yeah.
Of the respondents, 695 people, 25 years or longer. 42.6% say they've lived in the town of Franklin more than 20 years. So,
Mr. Chair,
yes.
I was wondering if it's too late to reopen the survey and maybe target specific demographic groups directly who might have been underrepresented in this survey?
For the most part, this point forward, we're going to be going to our public hearings and getting much of our input through them. The survey is going to be used as kind of a stepping stone, and we can actually work with this information as we get the actual official public hearing input. Yes, sir.
Through the chair, I think that's a great point that that's mentioned, and perhaps we do a little bit of both.
Mm-hmm.
We really target through the public outreach, maybe demographics and people that we just didn't capture here. It gives us a reason, I think, for or a little bit more of a reason that as it relates to why we're doing the public hearings, and that's to pick up the extra pieces, the extra input that maybe we just haven't solicited already.
Yeah, through the chair, I don't see a strong negative reason why we like hard and fast have to close this, just because the data is updated real time.
Amy?
I mean, we don't have to, we can keep going along with it, it's just we're trying to move things along, where we've been working on finalizing the inventory and assessment report, putting together some public hearings in the future for key issues and opportunities, so I think it was just kind of to move the process
Just kind
along.
of move on to the next step.
Move on to the next step.
That makes sense. Joe?
I kind of feel that way too, because we're just gonna keep searching
Yep.
until we find an answer we wanna see. This seems to be a good response. I was told 713 was the response. What was disappointing to me is all the goals we're working to. On the first question, how would you like to see Franklin? Affordable housing, diversity, and transportation came in the lowest. Yet, single-family large homes, and it seems like it's not what we're working for. We were trying to work towards that, and they're telling us no.
Well,
There's no well, it's the numbers.
I think, no, I know, I was just about to agree with you. I was just about to say that I think what the survey, it just even from the responses that we've gotten, have given us a fairly rooted response as to what a fair percentage of the community are looking into. I think we could actually continue on with more, but unfortunately, in lieu of time, we don't really have that luxury.
Can I just
Yes, Joe, you have the
jump
floor
on that?
still. Go ahead.
Yet, if you read through the whole thing, it's to me, the survey doesn't make sense, because they ask one question, they don't want affordable housing. You go down to another question, they want affordable housing. Then it goes to the next question, no more building, and then we need housing for affordability. So, and it's the same people, it's not different people answering the questions, it's the same people. It's almost like being interviewed by a police officer in an investigation. They ask you 4 or 5 questions to make sure you're giving the same answer each time. And each answer is different from the same person. It confuses me 100%.
There's just one point that I want to bring up about this survey too. I mean, how do we know if anybody filled it out more than once, is the first question. And the next question is, even though there was 700 people and everybody's beating a drum that say that's really good, if it's more than, if one person's filling the survey out more than that, I mean, even if each individual person was 700 and something people, that's 2%, a little bit over 2% of the population. Yeah, I don't know where you get this idea that this is some kind of representation about what's going on in town.
Especially when I saw biking was real low too.
Through the chair, I agree with Bruce, and Jen, and Max, and Ken. Like, I think the people that answered the survey does not represent Franklin. And so I think, Like, why can't we just keep it open until we start to work on our new goals? Like, I think we should try to target other people and get them to answer this. It updates immediately. We already know what this group thinks. Like, I don't know why we can't just keep adding to it.
Just to piggyback on that.
Yeah.
Yet, those people put the time in to take the survey.
Right.
And then people on the survey, the same people say they wanna be involved, whether
Right.
it's Zoom or not, there's nobody here. So, if we keep the survey going, are the numbers basically just gonna keep staying the same and the percentages,
We
just
don't
a
know.
larger number, but the same percentages?
Well,
We don't know.
I think if you were to look at it as a bell curve, it's fair to assume that it would probably continue on the same pattern.
I don't think any of us in this room are like experts at survey.
Gino's got his hand up.
And
Gino, go ahead.
Thank you.
Eric's got his hand up.
Kind of as a follow-up to Max's point, I have a question as to whether whether Google provides crosstabs that would allow us to look at what the answers are by demographic group. That would at least provide some, whether we use that to adjust the results or just look at them so we see what different age groups or other demographic groups are thinking about these issues. That might be another way kind of to reach those groups without having to reopen the survey. Just a thought. But it would only work if Google provides crosstabs of these results. I don't know if that they do.
Amy?
As of right now, I haven't found any other way to have the results of the survey be shown any different than what we see tonight, other than exporting it to Excel. That's the only other thing to do. Does not seem to be a very flexible survey format. in
Oh,
that.
yeah, I understand that. Okay.
Can I make one last comment?
Sure.
I
Actually,
appreciate-
hold on one second,
Okay.
Joe, because I just want to give Eric and Ken an opportunity. Go ahead, Eric.
Yeah, I was just gonna,
Yep.
my comment was similar to Gino's and Max's, where, we can, to the extent we can download this data, via Excel, we can cross-tabulate it then. And so we can see what those results are by demographics. In particular, I'd be very curious to see what that, cross-tabulation would be for single-family housing and affordable housing, and, by those groups. The other thing I think we need to be conscious of is this is a tool. We're doing a lot of different outreach efforts. And we need to be conscious of that. And I think having those conversations face to face with folks here in town is going to be very valuable to us. Not just at the public hearing where someone's at a podium, but what we were doing at the Sustainability. I'm so sorry that I couldn't be there, but I'm very glad I wasn't there though
It was
either.
really good.
But I heard it
really
was good. I heard it was good.
I have the paper.
But those are the conversations I think that are going to be really meaningful to help inform our groups to make the decisions that we need to make and make the recommendations for this master plan.
Very well said, Eric. I agree with you 100%. Ken?
Eric covered my points. Thank you.
Joe, back to you. I don't know you, Joe.
No, you will.
All right. You want
Again,
to finish your point? Yep.
the survey is confusing. One says yes, one says no, it's all the same people. My personal opinion is we're bored of a master plan. We've gotta make tough decisions. I can't make my decisions based on a survey when people are flip-flopping. No different than a council, when you get someone comes in from, the school committee wants more money, public saying no, council's gonna make a tough decision. You're on this board to do the right thing for the community.
Right.
I can't be listening to 2,000 people with all different ideas. Well, yes one day, no the next. We have to get together as a group and make a decision on how we're gonna move this town forward.
We are definitely going to do that, and we are definitely going to take what we have for the survey, because as far as I'm concerned, I don't really think it's to our benefit to move any further with the survey and kind of just start focusing more on our public hearings.
Thank you.
Janelle?
Similar to that, and to piggyback off of both Joe and what Eric said, that this can be one set of data that we use, that we can just recognize has a certain demographic, and we should do the due diligence of checking against our census and other things, waiting, if we can. And we'll be gathering data through the public outreach. That's a different set of data that we'll be gathering.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was curious about the idea of the round 2 interactive Maptionaire kind of survey data gathering, because I don't think in the last meeting that was closed. And that can be a way that we can really, at that one, recognizing the type of demographics that responded to a Facebook post. Okay, as we go forward, we're not just gonna rely on that. We really need to get out there and meet people where they're at, and with our data gathering, because we care, right? So I was curious about the status of that kind of interactive map survey.
I think, to put it in a nutshell, Janelle, we've basically discounted the use of it for the simple fact that the town administration, based on the cost and based on the likelihood of use of that, didn't find it to be prudent at this time. So for the most part, we're not going to move forward with using it here in the master plan. So that answers your question. So we're not from this point forward, for the most part, we're not going to be generating any new surveys or questions.
Ken, I think you're on Zoom at the same time, and you're here, and that's why it's doing it. You're actually on.
Ken?
Muted though.
Yeah,
Oh,
otherwise
not on
these
Zoom.
would be coming up.
I can't make it.
I've got no audio here on Zoom.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Is there-
I just want to
Oh, yes.
let Janelle finish first. That's unfortunately, that was the basic result of our last meeting in regards to addressing Maptionaire is that for the most part, it's just not cost effective at this point. And in lieu of time, we were just kind of hoping to move forward with just getting into the public hearing parts of our.
Okay, I thought at the last meeting it was still gonna be asked about again,
No.
but it wasn't.
No, it's not. For the most part, it's not something we're going to use going forward. Simply, for budgetary reasons, because at this point, from what I've been told earlier, we're about $8,000 into our expenses, and we've got about $30,000 left. So we have a short budget to go through the rest of our master plan up until September when we do our presentation. So at this point, we're kind of limited to what's available to us. So at the moment, it's not something we're really gonna consider doing, unfortunately. Amy?
Yeah, well, Brian just texted me. I think, and Eric mentioned this, is that we'll download the information into Excel, and we'll try to do some assessments of some of the demographics and put some results together, and then we can definitely share that with the committee.
Okay.
Put that in the drive.
That
Really appreciate that.
That
Thank you.
sounds useful. Thank you. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Max, you got
Thank you, Mr.
Point.
Chairman. Do I have to say my address again?
No.
Okay.
Max, we know you so well by now. You're like an associate
Oh,
counsel.
boy. So three things. The first is, what can we do to sort of reach out to those sort of community members who might be not represented in the survey, and maybe like reaching out to community leaders, cultural events, to try to reach people we might have missed. One possibility is, it's not maybe represented in the survey as explicitly, but I doubt that the people who live at Central Park Terrace have been very well represented in that survey. They're not avid Facebook users over there, so maybe having a hearing at Central Park Terrace would be helpful. The third thing is, I'd be willing to volunteer my time. I know I'm not a member of the committee, but I have a lot of experience with SPSS and regressions and all that fun Excel stuff. So if you need me to help, I'd be happy to help do some stuff for the committee.
We appreciate that, Max.
And yeah.
So of the ones who responded to the survey, you're the ones who show up and actually say you're gonna be part of the committee and help out. Max, I have to state, based on your participation both at the council and here at the master plan, that your input and your showing up it means a lot, all right? That, it doesn't go unnoticed. Let's just put it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other comments, questions, remarks, specifics in regards to the survey? Do we want to bring this back up and have everyone take an opportunity to review the results more, or do we want to move past the survey for the next? Because our next meeting, Amy, we are moving on to the second draft of the INA report, if I'm correct. Okay, that's a good thing.
Second and final.
If I can,
Second and
Mr.
final.
Chairman, I
Yes.
think it would be great for the subcommittees to meet and to go over the answers of the questions that are
Absolutely. And
relate
how
to
they're
their
re- and how they're
subcommittees.
relevant to your each.
And then maybe, like, we can give a report about what's there or
Mhm.
what, I mean, I don't think we have to do it in the large meeting.
That's valid. Yep. So if each chair wants to take a copy or have a copy, Amy, you have a hard copy, you said, correct? Of the results, or just the Google?
That's another, just on the Google Drive, that's another thing, when you print that, you don't get all the comments. You
I
only
know.
get the maps.
Oh.
And yeah, like I said, hasn't been
That's-
that friendly of a tool. I guess it's just a very simple,
Problematic.
yeah, it's not, however, it will export it all into Excel. So when we start working with Excel, you'll be able to see them there.
Okay.
So, yeah, if you don't mind, Mr. Chairman, I just was gonna give a quick rundown of future meetings, just so they kind of know our ideas of what we're doing moving forward.
Okay, before we jump into
wanna-
the meetings, just
Sure.
let me finish up
Okay.
the discussion on the survey.
So I guess, work with this survey that you have right now until we can try to put together something in Excel, and
Mhm.
then I will put that on the drive, and everyone will have access
Great,
to it.
and that'll be
That's
available
good.
to all the chairs of each
Yep.
subcommittee for them to
Yeah.
review,
Yeah.
and to take to their level and take the parts that are relevant to their subs.
Mhm.
Colby?
Not to belabor the point or come across as overly cynical, we chose not to invest in a quality survey. We chose not to invest in better outreach, and we have a undersampled and poorly representative survey response with confusing answers. I would just caution overweighting the importance. It is an input, as others have said. It is one way that we've been able to, have an open meeting, if you will, with a whole bunch of people and sort of hear who shows up and what their thoughts are and, what are the loudest people in town think. But, yeah, I mean, I can't oversell how little weight we should put into these survey results. My opinion.
Understood. Amy?
I'm all set.
Okay. So, before we leave the survey results, one of the things that we promised our the individuals that did respond to the survey is that if they put their name in the survey and they would like to have their name as part of a raffle, their name or number, depending on what they gave in the survey, we were going to be doing a drawing. We have two kindly donated through Mr. Halligan over here, gift cards, one of which is to the Shed for $100. The other one is to Bellagio Nail Salon, right across the street, also a $100 gift card. And how we're going to do this tonight, and Amy has a list of all of the individuals numbered 1 through 287 who have wanted to be part of this raffle. So in lieu of picking from a hat and picking someone's name, or what we've decided to do is take the list, which is numbered 1 to 287, and I would like to pick a number. And I'm just kind of, you know what, Max?
Use a random number generator.
You're the man.
Max, pick a number.
So, Max, I'm gonna go to you. I would like you to pick a number from 1 to 287.
The answer to life, the universe, and everything, number 42.
Number 42. So number 42 is going to be the shed for $100.
Mm-hmm.
I'll write that down. All right.
Who paid you off to say that?
Nah.
That's
Did
his
you see
number.
that list?
That's his number. That's his number.
Mr. Chair, can I just verify that he had not seen the list?
Yes.
He has no idea how those people are numbered on the list. Is that
That is
correct?
1,000%.
We have to
correct.
verify that, right? And that before he came in here today, he had no idea how
He
you were
had
going to
no
select.
idea, recollection. He didn't even know I was going to say that, did you? Nope, no clue whatsoever.
But who here knows where that quote came from?
Where that quote came from?
Cite it.
Hitchhikers?
Yeah.
What is it?
Hitchhikers.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Hitchhikers. Mm-hmm. And I think since Chris from Franklin TV is also not part of this committee and also
Would you like to announce who won?
hasn't, I will. I'm going to
Okay.
in just a second. I think
shaking his
I'll
head.
ask Chris from Franklin TV.
I'm too focused, man.
I know, but you're doing great. To pick a number from 1 to 287, excluding number 42.
Just let Max do it again.
Oh. All right. We'll do that. Go ahead, Max. Pick us our second number.
So in Star Trek, there's a recurring number that always appears in Star Trek. It's the number 47, if you watch it
Wow.
closely.
So we're going 42 and 47, huh?
That we're on it quick.
Okay.
Looks like number 47 is Max Warren Jello.
Oh! Well,
Nail
that's
salon.
funny you say that. Let me pull up the list. I actually have the list available right now. I can find out
I think Amy might have.
from the results. Yeah, I've
Amy
got it.
probably knows.
Were you the only one with access to that list?
I have this list.
He
right.
has it there too.
Yeah. So number 42
Glenn Jones.
is Danica Cucci. That's
Danica! That's
Danica
Danica!
Cucci. Yep, Danica Cucci is number 42.
I know.
So she'll be the shed. And you said number 47. Number 47 is David Ferreira from Ferreira Services. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Huh? I just is the name. There it is. Thank you.
Nice pedicure.
Cool. Thank you, Max.
Mr. Chair, I just wanted to say that
Get enough for that?
I actually stayed longer here because I chose you over FinCom. So I chose this group over FinCom.
We're more exciting.
Whoa. Thank you, Max.
FinCon gets they get podcast form in the morning, which we don't get, so you get to do both.
Very cool. Okay. Thank you, Max, for your help again, and congratulations to our winners tonight. That's awesome. We do. I can understand everyone's responses from the committee as a whole in regards to the survey results. There are a whole bunch of variety of arguments that can be made, both pro and con, for the results and so on and so forth. But as Janelle said, and I completely agree with Janelle, it's one of our data points. It's a tool. It's not perfect. It's something to use going forward. I think ideally what really is going to be the real meat and potatoes of the results of what we're ultimately going to put towards our goals and objectives for each individual subcommittee is the input that we're going to get from the public once we actually sit down and have a broader public hearing with their input and results. And ultimately, I do have to agree with Joe in the sense that we are going to have to make some tough decisions. And one of the things that we all are going to have to take into consideration is that we can't do everything. We can't. It's just we as the master plan committee were chosen to make those hard and tough decisions on what we hope, based on input from the public and the citizens and based on whatever data points we can collect, is to sit down and come up with a fair, objectionable set of results that we can apply to the master plan for the next 10 years. One of the things that I have to state, which, and it's funny, Max, you mentioned the FinCom, is that we have to not only review ideas and goals based on input, based on fact, based on what we hope the Franklin can be in 10 years, but we also have to look at this from a financial perspective and say, okay, of the goals, objectives, ideas, and that we've set forth, or we hope to set forth in the master plan, are they feasible? Are they objectionable goals that we'll be able to obtain based on what a potential budget may be? I know that's a big what if, but you know, based on today's budget and based on the projections of where we're going, we just kind of have to look at the big picture and say to ourselves, let's slim this down. Let's make some really strong set of objectives that are obtainable for the next 10 years. And those are going to take some tough decisions. So we just kind of have to take a step back, take the data points and the input that we get, and ultimately we, as a committee, are going to sit down and make those final decisions as we progress towards the end. Like I said before, I did pick a date for us to ultimately make this presentation, and that is going to be on the 18th of September to the Town Council, and on the 9th of September to the Planning Board. My hope is that we stick with the plan moving forward. We take what we have, and we, as experienced individuals, make a final decision. For the most part, are we going to all agree and disagree at some? Yeah, we are. But I think at the end of the day, and I want to say this to all of the members of the committee, we are a very bright, very intelligent group of individuals that, regardless of how much we can agree and disagree on things, I know that together we're ultimately going to come up with a great master plan for the next 10 years. With that being said, Amy, you had some questions in regards to the dates.
Yeah, I just wanted to see, update the committee a little bit. We had planned for a public hearing in February. Tentatively, we were looking at the first meeting in February. However, we were gonna do it in the council chambers, and I can't get the council chambers that night, but I can get it for the second meeting on February 21st. The goal with that meeting is to go over key issues and opportunities and try to get some feedback from the public as well. So the next meeting in February that we have in 2 weeks, we will have the final inventory and assessment report. So that'll be presented along with the CRM and what edits were accepted, rejected, or changed. So that'll be provided as well. It is coming along really well. I can give you a quick update. You know, I can say probably majority of the comments were added to the plan. The edits were added. We got some map updates, and then there's just been some things that we don't feel that they belong in this plan. They may belong in the master plan, but may not in this inventory and assessment plan. And we've made those comments on the sheet. So we're plugging away at it. It's not done yet. There was a lot. So, but you guys you'll get it something before next meeting to review.
That's the 24th.
Yes.
On the 24th.
Yeah, I'll have it next week.
Okay.
So it'll come in prior to the meeting.
Okay. I'm just looking at the
Yep.
schedule.
Yes. Yes.
And read. So you're saying you want to move the public hearing from the 7th of February to the
Yes.
21st?
Yes.
A
Okay.
note on the 21st, that's school vacation week,
Mhm.
so there might be people away
Other conflicts of
or other
dates.
conflicts.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. So let's see. Yeah, it doesn't reflect that on this calendar, but yeah, right, because that's Valentine's Day on the 14th.
We could do it on the 14th. We don't have a town council meeting.
That's true.
I mean,
Master Plan Committee, we heart Franklin.
That's cute.
It's Valentine's Day every day. isn't
Yeah,
it?
I mean, what about the
Come on, you guys.
Yeah, the
I can
21st.
definitely-
Go ahead.
I could definitely look into that to see, do you want me to see if the chambers is available? If you
Yes.
guys want to move the
Yeah,
21st to the 14th, sure.
Let's try that, because,
Okay.
yeah, you're right. There is no council meeting on the 14th,
Right.
so, yes, let's try that. Everyone okay with moving the date, if that's doable? Yes? Okay. Also, folks, as part of the master plan Google Calendar, what I've gone and done, and I will continue to do this as we move forward with these meetings, as part of the notes, see the bottom of the event, I put a rough agenda for that night. It's what's listed on the calendar, as to what the goal is for that night. This is that's January 10th. That was tonight's meeting. So the 24th, coming up, I put down review the INA draft part 2. That will be here on the 3rd floor. And then I will be filling this in as I go. I will look into, as I mentioned earlier, how to improve getting these reminders out to everybody. It's something new that I've been doing. So other than that, any other dates, Amy?
Apparently not on Valentine's Day.
I mean, we have our schedule, so just kind of, we're plugging along with it, and as things come up, we'll update the agenda.
Okay.
And we know what we're doing. But just for the next few meetings, to give you guys an idea where we're at.
Okay. Perfect. Anything else? All right. Let me look at the list. Looks like we've gone through everything. There is one thing I want to bring up, just as a reminder to everybody, and it's something that's been kind of pending for a while. Bader and Barrett are still always looking for photographs. So if you have, or know anyone, or have any of your own, of storefronts, people walking on the sidewalk, people walking, and biking on the streets. I know it's the middle of the winter, that's not gonna work too well. I bet the train station's on here. Anybody wants to capture a nice snowy covered train station picture, or anything of the wildlife, which I've seen a few deers going through my yard already, and any other events that you may have around the community, they're always looking for photographs. You can upload those to the Google Drive, so we have them for Bader and Barrett to throw into the document, just as a reminder. Other than that, we don't have anything else on our agenda. Anyone have any last comments, questions, or feedback? Sir?
Mr. Chair, if you have deer running through your yard, they might be out of whack or something. If they're running through your yard.
You'd be surprised. I
I
do.
would. I would,
They run down Marvin Avenue and come across School Street. We actually have a picture of one standing right on School Street.
I don't understand.
I'll send you the picture. I have a picture of it. It's pretty cool, actually.
Okay, I'll send you the 1,000 that I got at my yard.
Oh, I
too.
can imagine. Up around your neighborhood?
Yeah. Yeah.
Ken, sir?
I just want to thank Amy Love for all the work she's done. She's been a great nudge for me and a big bit of help, and I know she does a lot of thankless stuff, and I'm always yelling at her and asking her for stupid stuff and everything else, and she handles it with incredible aplomb, and I just want to make sure to say thank you very much, Amy.
Thank you, Amy.
Thank you, Amy.
We appreciate,
Hey.
we appreciate you, and just as a reminder to the committee as well as the public at large, Amy Love is our town planner, and this is just one of multiple boards that she's actually a part of, is specifically the planning board, so Amy's a busy person, and she does a lot of work for this community, and I second that, Ken. We appreciate you and we appreciate all the hard work. Brian, he left, I know he left too, Amy's boss. Brian does a great job too.
It's recorded, right?
Yeah, I'll get that on recording.
Got off too soon.
And to everyone else, to my fellow members, I hope everyone had a great holiday. I hope everyone has a great rest of the week. Stay dry, and I know it's been a crazy weather, but with that, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved. Second.
So move.
All in favor?
Roll call
Aye.
vote.
No.
Roll call.
Not quite. Roll call vote.
Bruce.
Yes.
Meg.
Yes.
Gino.
Yes.
Rick.
Yes.
Janelle.
Yes?
Eric.
Yes.
Jen.
Yes.
Joe.
Yes.
Ken.
Yes.
Clerk, yes. Vice Chair.
Yes.
Chair.
Yes.
All in favor, sir.
All right, we are adjourned. Non-debatable.
Thank you.
Have a good night, everybody.